Hi, I'm Sean Ferrell, and I'll be reading from my new book, The Sinister Secrets of Singe, which is book one in my new series. Chapter 1. Noah lived in a house that grew larger at night. It was the only place he was allowed. Crashing and hammering and sawing echoed through the spiraling rooms as he slept. During the day, his chores kept him distracted. In his spare time, he daydreamed at the windows about the trees and the hills and the city beyond and wondered if he might ever get to see them up close. He knew he wouldn't. It wasn't allowed. After dark, the noises let him know the house was growing, that it was a mysterious, living thing. Most nights, the noises broke into his dreams. He felt the thuds and crashes as if he were dancing with giants. On nights when the noises woke him, an exceptionally large thud or a ceiling shaking rattle, he would lie awake for hours, listening. In the dark, he'd imagine what the new rooms and halls would look like. Enough rooms had been added to the house throughout the years that he'd learned what to expect. Each room joined to the previous at a slight angle. Each floor spiraled above the previous, the rooms oddly shaped, the spiral getting wider as the house rose higher. When the noises woke him, he usually drifted back to sleep slowly as the house grew. At least, that's how it used to be. This night was different. This night, it was the quiet that startled Noah from his sleep. The harder he strained to catch the now familiar bangs and whirs, the harder his mattress felt. He sat up slowly to adjust his pillow, careful to make no sound that he was awake. Almost instantly, heavy robotic footsteps clicked toward the bed. "You are not sleeping," Elijah said. "It is night and you are not asleep." The ticking of the robot caretaker's gears and the occasional singing of his springs revealed Elijah's location. "You should sleep at night." Elijah was always repeating Marie's rules and warnings. The robot walked to the side of the bed. Noah didn't need light to know Elijah was worried. Light would only show the robot's face, the face of a boy about Noah's age, unmoving and expressionless and cast from iron. Elijah's expressions came from the speed of his clockwork ticking, not the furrow of a brow. Noah listened to the house he knew so well. Beyond Elijah's ticking, there wasn't a sound. But Noah didn't need to see the house to know it. After all, it was the only place he'd ever been, home only to his mother, Marie, Elijah, and himself. Three small figures in a giant, spiraling space. Yet until this night, with its unsettling quiet, it had never occurred to Noah how room after room of it was empty. Now he could think of nothing else. From the dark came Elijah's quiet suggestion. "It is night time. You should be sleeping." "I know it's night." "And still, you are not sleeping." "I know I'm not sleeping. It's because of the noise." Elijah's gears worked in the dark. Noah could tell his caretaker was tilting his head, straining to hear. "Noise? It's so far away, I can almost not hear it." "That's the problem." Noah sighed his frustration into the darkness. Arguing with Elijah was pointless. His programming and clockworks couldn't understand Noah's exasperation. They could only determine what Noah was not doing. They could only determine that Noah was not doing what was expected. What was expected was routine. Boring routine. Lonely routine. Noah reached a hand under his mattress where he'd hidden a stack of yellowed papers, papers that were not part of the routine, papers he had found while exploring. He and Elijah often played hide and seek. When he'd been younger, it had been a favorite game of his. Now it was more for solitude. Making Elijah count to 3,000 or 4,000 gave Noah hours to look through the rooms filled with crates, to peek inside containers of gears and springs and tools, to rifle through papers covered with notes and drawings, notes in handwriting he'd never seen before, and drawings of mechanical plans beyond what he'd ever imagined. Marie had been teaching Noah how to tinker. The drawings he'd found had taught him how to imagine. "Elijah," Noah whispered, "what are the noises from?" Elijah's ticking stayed steady. "From the house growing larger." "And what makes the house grow larger?" Noah had a theory. His mother had warned him about the danger of the noises. He wasn't to explore a new room until the noises had moved on. But Marie had never told him why. She'd never said what was doing the building. Elijah's ticking sped up in just the way Noah expected. The house grows larger because a larger house is a larger home. This is home where Marie keeps you safe. Marie wants to keep you safe. Noah had asked Elijah these questions before. At first, it had been a kind of teasing game he liked to play. Then it had become a frustration. Questioning Elijah was pointless. His caretaker would only repeat every rule and double-talk response until Noah gave up. Elijah repeated his script because that's how Noah's mother Marie had built him. She had built him that way so that nothing would ever change. But Noah wanted things to change. Elijah, did Marie tell you not to tell me about the house? Elijah's gears sped up again, but he gave the same answer Noah had expected. Lady Marie is only concerned that I stay safe, Noah finished. Yes, I know. He ran a finger along the edge of the crisp, yellowed papers hidden beneath the mattress. He wanted to pull them out and look through them again. He felt a page slice his fingertip. It stung, but he didn't mind. As a bead of blood rose on the fingertip, the perfect question formed in his mind. Elijah, who wanted to build the house for us? No sounds came from the dark. Elijah's gears didn't spin. Noah could just make out his caretaker's silhouette in a sliver of moonlight. He began to count his own breaths. As he reached 10, he worried he'd broken his only friend. At last, there was a high-pitched whine, and Elijah's gears sped back to normal. Lady Marie only wants this home to be safe. This home, Noah thought. Elijah hadn't said our home or her home. He hadn't even said your home. The paper's cut stung as Noah played with the hidden pages. A week earlier, he'd found the stack beneath the false bottom of a metal toolbox. He'd been searching for a small wrench for one of his tinkering chores, and as his assigned tasks had recently become more complex, Marie had encouraged him to search through the dozens of crates and boxes in the attic and spiraling rooms. You'll find everything you need, my brilliant tinkerer, she had said. He was sure the papers weren't what she had meant, but they were the only thing he'd found that mattered to him now. The notes were tied together with a string that had snapped the moment he tried to untie it. There were some handwritten jottings and many, many sheets of drawings, diagrams, and mechanical plans. Gear sizes and springs and clockwork designs. Some schematics showed miniature parts in great detail. Others captured the concept of the contraption as a whole. One in particular had caught Noah's eye, a massive spider made of an enormous round body covered in glass bead lenses for eyes, with 4 long legs and 4 shorter ones, each equipped with a different tool, a hammer on one, a drill, a screwdriver, and a saw. This was a robot designed to build and build quickly, multiple arms ready for a multitude of simultaneous tasks. Walls, floors, and ceilings could fly and form from the tools of this machine. The diagram was labeled Spideratus, and beneath that was a name, Alton Physician. The moment he'd found the papers, Noah had stared at those 2 words dumbstruck. Alton Physician was Noah's father's name. In the stolen moments since finding them, Noah looked at those pages and thought about his father, the house, his mother, even Elijah. His mother had always made the rules and kept him away from the world, but it had only ever been Marie, her rules, and Elijah. But she had kept something from him, something that wasn't hers to take. The house was his father's, and it was something of his father's design that had built it. A magnificent machine called a Spideratus. A magnificent machine from someone who must have been a magnificent man. Grinding his teeth, thinking about how he would find the secret machinery built by his father, Noah finally fell asleep.